The president already being proven right, as Newsweek and Reuters have published hit pieces against Judge Amy Coney Barrett, who is being perceived as the front runner right now for that Supreme Court slot. For more on this, we're joined by Tom Jipping. He's senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Also joined by Jeremy Deese, special counsel for litigation at communications at First Liberty Institute. Guys, thanks for being with us. Tom, we're going to start with you first. Amy Coney Barrett. Given that the dishonest press fears her the most, she must be really something. Why?
Well, she is really something. I think what defines a really good Supreme Court nominee is someone who not only understands but is committed or has a conviction about the limited, defined role of the courts, the way that the founders designed the courts to operate, and she clearly does. Not only did she get good training? She clerked for judges like Larry Silberman on the D.C. Circuit and Justice Scalia on the Supreme Court. But in 15 years of teaching at Notre Dame, her scholarship was about exactly the things that an appellate judge does: interpretation of the Constitution, construction of statutes, and especially the development and application of precedent. And so she's really given us a good, fulsome description and understanding of her approach to judging. And now we have almost 3 years of her on the Seventh Circuit proving that that's exactly her understanding of the role of the judge. She knows it and is already proving that she believes in it. And, as a mother of 7, while accomplishing all these other incredible things, she's got to be a person of great fortitude. So I think she'll make a great addition to the Supreme Court if she's the nominee.
Yeah, Jeremy, let's explore somebody else. Judge Barbara Lagoa is also being bandied about as one of the top possibilities for the president to pick. What do we know?
Well, the
I
way
wish I
that
knew a lot more. Look, she's been recently appointed
that was for Jeremy.
Circuit.
Yeah.
No, look, I think we'd like to know a whole lot more about Barbara Lagoa. She's been recently nominated and confirmed to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, but spent most of her time as a justice on the Florida Supreme Court and working down there. One little anecdote that I find very interesting is Barbara Lagoa volunteered to work on Elian Gonzalez's case. You remember that case from way back when, making sure that he had adequate representation during his appeal to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals before, of course, Janet Reno took him back to Cuba. And so we know where she's dedicated some of her time and talent. But we also know that she's done some good work on the bench in the state of Florida as well. I would just like to see a little bit more information from her about what she's done on the Federal Circuit Court of Appeals there as well. I think she's entirely capable, of course, with all these things. But looking at the data has a few holes in it that maybe a candidate like Judge Barrett fills.
Okay, let's talk about some dark horse picks. We'll go with you first, Tom. What do you think? Who might surprise us?
Well, people have to understand, how this is being approached today. I mean, President Trump's, quote, short list has 44 names on it. And there's, a dozen women, most of whom he's appointed to the U.S. Court of Appeals. And the list is that broad to keep people guessing. But I think beyond the 2 judges that we've talked about, the only name on the list that has been talked about even a little bit is Judge Allison Rushing, who is on the 4th Circuit. That includes the Carolinas and the Virginias. She, too, has a great pedigree in the legal conservative movement, in the sense that she clerked for both Judge Neil Gorsuch on the 10th Circuit and Judge David Sentel on the D.C. Circuit, and then Justice Clarence Thomas on the Supreme Court. She is young. She's only 38 years old, and that doesn't preclude anything necessarily, but it's been a long time, over a century before or since someone that young has been appointed to the Supreme Court. But in terms of credentials, in terms of the background she comes from, and the training that she appears to have received thus far, she's making a good judge on the 4th Circuit. And the president has a deep bench to choose from, no pun intended. he's appointed so many really solid Court of Appeals judges that that's a great pool to fish in, and he's got a lot of choices to pick from.